This is the APT News Network, bringing you the research, interviews, business, biomechanics, events, and physical culture for a sound mind and a sound body. This is Vincent Mezzo reporting for the APT News Network.
Oh wait, this just in. We're going to go to our biomechanics correspondent in the field. It seems that there are trainers telling their clients not to let their knees go forward of their toes when they squat. Hey, let's take you to Adam Marcus in the field right now for this special report.
This is Adam Marcus reporting for APT News. Today we're going to talk about the concept of not letting your knees go past your toes during a squat and why it's an erroneous concept. So we have Chris here doing some back squats. You can see that naturally, as he goes into hip flexion, his knees also flex and they're driving over his feet. This is actually something you want to happen. So how much they're going to go over his feet is going to depend to some degree on limb length as well as his trunk angle. I believe the concept originated from the idea that you don't want your heels to lift up, right? You don't want all the pressure to be on your quadriceps tendon. You want some contribution from the posterior chain. So here you can see some examples of him stepping off of a curb. And as he steps off of a curb with his right foot, or in that case his left foot, the foot that's still on the curb, that knee is tracking forward over the toes as he takes the weight off of it. However, I think there are a couple of cues that can work better than this and not punish people for limb length. So one of them, you could just tell them simply sit back, or even use, and many people do, a bench or a chair or a plyo box behind them. Some people say push through the heels. Personally, I prefer saying play the piano with your toes, because that keeps the toes engaged while preventing him from putting excessive force on the front of his foot. So we're going to do some gait analysis now. You can see right around toe off, so after someone heel strikes the ground, they move their weight forward through that foot and the heel comes up, pushing off through that toe, their knee is moving past their toes. The same thing happens during running, skipping, lunging patterns as well, and even stepping on or off of a curb. So it's a natural occurring phenomenon during everyday movement. Are there some cases in which you would want to diminish that in training if someone has some sort of predisposing factor like patellar tendinitis? Absolutely. But without giving that extra information about someone's injury status, would you immediately want to prevent them from doing that? I don't see any reason why you would. You might be punishing someone for their limb length rather than encouraging good form or technique. Right, so you can see whether someone's moving in the sagittal, frontal, transverse plane. Again, this is a naturally occurring phenomenon with movement. Another issue with this concept of not letting the knees go past the toes during squatting movement is that it's a natural occurrence during things like gait and stair climbing. Now, if someone has some predisposing injury, then yes, you may want to adjust technique accordingly. But as long as there's no mitigating factors in terms of patellar tendinitis or anything like that, then there's nothing wrong with letting the knees track forward as long as they're going in line with the feet. So if you can see more of a front view, his knees aren't collapsing in or out, they're coming in line with the toes, and his hips and knees are moving simultaneously. Give me a little bit more depth there, Chris. That's better. This is Adam Marcus reporting for APT News.